2019. Now make sure you get out and buy this guy's merchandise because we all know musicians, singer-songwriters make hundreds of dollars a year. And this guy and his beautiful wife are going to need all your help tonight because they are about to have baby number one in just the next couple of weeks. So don't be afraid to throw a couple $2 bills up here on the stage for BJ Barham, everybody.
So last record we put out, 2015, a record called Wolves. That's a lot of folks came to the party with Wolves. That was the first record they heard of, and then they started digging back. But Wolves was the record that kind of changed everything for us. Wolves was the first record that came out, debuted in the Billboard Top 20. It was the first record that we saw any success with. I wrote the song, the title track, was the first thing I wrote. I wrote all of these verses about wanting to get sober. This is back, I wrote that entire record before sobriety. But I was very, very clear that I wanted help. I needed help. I wanted to change because I, again, had a problem. And so I wrote all these verses equating alcohol and drug addiction to a wild animal sinking its teeth into you. But I couldn't write a hook. I couldn't write a catchy chorus about substance abuse. There's no sing-along chorus about fucking being an alcoholic. You know, you turn on. But I wanted to write a hook. I wanted to write a catchy hook. Not like a really good 90s Sawyer Brown, Some Girls Do hook, but I wanted to write a hook good enough for my record. If you know that hook. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. So I did what any kid from the state of North Carolina would do. I made an obscure ACC basketball reference right in the middle of the fucking chorus. And for those that don't, and most of y'all from Texas, basketball is a sport we play after football. And it's big in North Carolina. But I went to NC State, so I went to the shitty school for basketball. We only have 2 national championships. Only two fucking championships. But we've been pretty shitty since '83, since we used all the magic in '83 against a team from Texas. It's fun. Y'all can beat the Chevys in football. I just enjoy talking shit about basketball. But we're terrible. We're always bad. We're the lovable losers. We're always slightly mediocre. Except for in 2002, we had this kid named Julius Hodge, number 24, 6'6" shooting guard from Harlem, New York, 2003 ACC Player of the Year. He was a bad man. He was the only thing we had, though. And that was my freshman year in college. And I went on February 9th, 2002 to the PNC Arena to watch us play the number 1 team in the country, the Duke Blue Devils. And that night, we were a 25-point underdog to the Duke Blue Devils, but somehow, miraculously, we beat the Duke Blue Devils. And after the game, ESPN runs up to Julius Hodge and puts a microphone in his face and says, "Julius Hodge, how does it feel to beat the number 1 team in the country?" And Julius has a microphone in his face. He has the attention of the entire world. This is a nationally televised game. He could say something so profound that it changes how people look at NC State basketball forever. And he thinks about it, and he opens his mouth, and he says, "When we hungry, we eat." That's all he said. He ran to the locker room. You can YouTube this. You can type in "When we hungry, we eat." It's the greatest 2 minutes of YouTube ever. Not because of what he said, but because the camera pans back to the ESPN analyst who is absolutely dumbfounded. Just standing there. "Well, there you have it, Tom. Julius Hodge, when he's hungry, he eats. Back to you in the studio." And so I wrote this song, and I incorporated that into the chorus. And then I decided that it wouldn't be fair for me to put this song out without letting Julius hear it first. So I sent him a recorded version of the song. And I just sent him, the only way I could get in touch with him was a Twitter message, which is not creepy at all. So I slid into his DMs, and I said, "Hey, Julius, I wrote a song about you, BJ send." And my wife looks at me, and she's like, "That's the creepiest fucking thing you could have ever sent a stranger who's a professional athlete." I said, "No, it's not. I wrote his name, I wrote a declarative sentence, and I signed it. Like, it's pretty straightforward." She said, "Let me read that back to you in the creepy voice." Hey, Julius, I wrote a song about you. BJ. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking creepy. But he sent me a message back, and he sent one sentence back, and it was one sentence that I knew, that let me know that he got it, that he understood it, that he supported it, that he was totally okay with me using his weird statement from 10 years prior. And it was just one statement, but he said it in only a way that Julius Hodge could say something. He just said, "That shit's fire, son." But instead of the word fire, he used 3 flame emojis, which let me know he was serious about how much he liked it. And so this is the song I wrote, inspired by alcoholism and NC State basketball, which, if you know anything about NC State basketball, they go hand in hand. I knew I'd be a drifter since the day I turned 16. Watching my dad fix up cars in the smell of gasoline. I just wish that someone took the time to warn me about those evil things that lie beyond the trees. 'Cause when the wolves are hungry, the wolves will eat. I just wish these wolves would get their claws out of me. Yeah, I've never been any good at ever sticking around, but I'll always be the one that'll let you down. Seems like my feet start running before they hit the ground. Just wish they didn't always take me to the wrong side of town. 'Cause when the wolves are hungry, the wolves will eat. I just wish these wolves would get their claws out of me. So the funny part about it is me and Julius actually became friends after that weird Twitter introduction. And he comes to shows all the time. He's an assistant coach now at Santa Clara out in California. But 2 years ago, when this record came out, he was an assistant coach at the University of Buffalo up in New York. And me and the boys had a show in Buffalo, and he sent me a message and said, "Hey man, I'm coming to the show tonight. I'm gonna bring some friends. I can't wait to see you." And I said, "Great, I can't wait to see you either." But not like in a creepy way. What he did not tell me, though, was that he had forced the entire men's basketball team at the University of Buffalo to come to our show that night. So let me paint you a picture. I'm playing a rock and roll show, full band. We're rocking. And it's a room about the size of this, but it's not as nice. It's a shitty punk rock club in Buffalo, New York, in the middle of winter. And across the back of the room, you could see 12 men wearing matching gray sweatsuits that say the University of Buffalo men's basketball team, all averaging in height from 6'8" to 7'2", standing with their arms crossed with a look on their face like they would rather be anywhere in the world except for the shitty rock club in Buffalo, New York, watching a guy that looks like Woody from Toy Story talk about his feelings. But Julius was right up front, wearing an American Aquarium hat, singing every fucking word of this song. I can see the fire in their eyes, the blood on their teeth. They can smell the fear in my bones and hear the shaking of my knee. The beautiful women, yeah, the sweet amphetamines. I just wish these wolves would get their claws out of me. I just wish these wolves would get their claws out of me.